Okay, let's go. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boys back again at the 8. We got another live episode for you today. We got a great homegirl on the episode of the A. She's an activist in the foster care community, really doing her thing to shed light on the trials and tribulations of what's going on in the backstories of the foster care system, and doing her part to just be out there and do better for the community. So we appreciate our homegirl Natalie coming onto the podcast. Like I said, she's a homegirl I've always known for quite some time. Natalie, what's up?
5 years now.
5 years?
When I graduated high school.
Oh yeah,
I walked in the office in my cap and gown.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's right.
Did yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did. Wow. Well, they told me I couldn't pick up my check if I didn't show up on that day. So I had my graduation, so I had to come in after.
Hey. She said, "I'll be there."
I'm about the money, but I'm about the degree too.
I'll be there. So yeah, we all met at Natalie. A lot of listeners know about ClearLink call center back in the day. All three of us used to work at. If you listen to the pod, you know we all met Trevor there, and we met Natalie there as well. So fun story about Natalie. My current girlfriend I have right now, Kylie. One day Natalie was like, you should date a nice girl like Kylie. But
really,
no one knew. Me and Kylie were already talking, but we were kind of keeping it on the low.
Right.
And Natalie was like, you should date Kylie. She's a nice girl. Because I was with another relationship person, and Natalie has a good sense of human character, and she was not a fan, and so yeah. So you remember that?
Oh yes, I do. They call me matchmaker for a reason.
There we go. So yeah, so Natalie saw it before anybody else, honestly.
So if you're looking for love out there and someone to set you up, hit up Natalie. The
Bang my line.
Hit her up. Well, you know how we start things off. We gotta ask everybody how was their week. We start off with our guests. Natalie, anything exciting happening this week? How was this weekend?
I got to train some people that are going to be mentors to college students at the University of Utah that have been through the foster care system. So I got to teach them what family privilege is, because family privilege is something most people don't know about. It's kind of one of those invisible privileges. And I got to teach them how to teach young people how to share their stories strategically, and a lot of different things. So that's a big win, because that was cool. 15 people that are now going to be very closely intertwined with our foster youth, so they can better support them.
Are they foster kids themselves, grew up in the system?
There's two programs. One's First Star and one's Impact Scholar. First Star is for kids in high school that are ready to transition into college in the next few years. It starts at 9th grade and goes all throughout high school. Because, of course, in foster care, the reality is we move placements a lot, which means we oftentimes move school. So we're typically a lot more behind educationally, so it's harder to catch up in high school, nonetheless college.
Yeah.
And the other program is for college students. So they're kind of a hybrid, but it's supporting both populations, former foster youth and current foster youth.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, that sounds like exciting. Anything else? That's about it. That's the highlight of your week?
I got to see my old foster sister. So
there you go.
That was a pleasure.
There you go. Trevor, Javi? Javi's currently recuperating.
Yeah.
Glad to be here, Javi.
From exerting himself.
Yeah, he was exerting himself.
Heavily.
You can go.
You want me to go?
Yeah. Right. You can go.
We didn't do too much this week. Pretty low key.
Friday?
I went out with Vic on Friday. We went out for a mocha.
Vic?
Yeah.
Vic. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we keep the ClearLink circle tight here.
I love
Very
it.
tight.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Very
good
tight.
Anything this weekend?
No. I mean, happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Yes, big day today. Tomorrow. Big day tomorrow, so.
It's today.
No, it is today. It's observed tomorrow.
Tomorrow's observed federally.
Well, yeah. That's what I meant. So.
Does anybody have work off? Yeah, Christina does.
I don't think I do. I might take it off, though.
You do?
Yeah, I work for the state.
Yeah, it's a banking holiday, so Christina gets it off, which is nice.
They don't want to pay time and a half.
I mean, it's not time and a half.
Yeah, I'm going to work and they're probably not going to pay me time and a half.
No, they won't.
My job barely gave Martin Luther King Day off. They were like, Juneteenth's a little down the road.
It is kind of crazy how many places don't give you Martin Luther King Jr. Day off.
Yeah. George Washington, though. Or what's fucking...
President's Day?
President's Day.
Because they combined Lincoln and Washington.
Yeah, because they did a lot.
They did.
A lot of fucking shithousery. Maybe Lincoln put in some work.
You ever hear that shit about George Washington's teeth?
Yeah, when I was fucking 12, like fucking 7. But I'd be wooden.
No, that they were teeth of his slaves.
Oh, the slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I heard that. And when you're like 6, they tell you those are wooden teeth. But
I think it's kind of one of those things where like maybe historians just didn't really know, and they've just. I mean, it could be that they whitewash history. They've done it with a lot of other things.
So
So
all of our history.
yeah, I feel like you could tell teeth from wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're like, shit, what are we gonna tell people?
But I think
tell me it
what
was
they
wood.
said was he had like a wood casing around the teeth, so they were like wooden, but like the casings.
He had a
Bro,
wooden grill.
he had like springs in his mouth. Like dentures back then, they were like 2 springs to like keep his teeth in. It was crazy.
Imagine back in the day.
Here,
Just,
pull up his teeth.
dude,
think I have a
it's
picture of it
Juneteenth,
or
man.
what?
Don't tell me
No,
what to
they
do
do
like
have
that,
a
man.
picture of it.
They had cameras back then.
You can't boss me around like that. It's Juneteenth. man.
They've
You gotta
taken
say it.
pictures of his teeth since he died, bro. Like they have like the mechanism.
The mechanism.
The mechanism. Yeah, Trevor likes to use bigger words. Mechanism is.
Bro, that's not a big word.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's just one you don't hear too often.
All right.
So there it is. Here, go to images. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm driving the boat.
So that's wood, like around it, and then there are
No cap.
springs.
Oh, that one right there.
There were
Look
like
down
springs that were in like on either side of it to like keep them in.
Damn,
I
they
was
could have
making
at
a
least
joke.
done a little better. Like,
But look, those clearly look like teeth, like
yeah.
human teeth.
Yeah.
Those are the springs right there.
Imagine how fucked up. Like you're just like
Yeah, he always
back in the
smiled with
day.
his
Like you
mouth
go to the dentist, like your teeth are fucked.
They're
and
like,
you
hey
can't-
man, how many slaves do you have? We're gonna get.
They're
you
like,
some new
just
teeth."
take the teeth from fucking
Yeah, your people.
what's his face. Take his teeth. I'll put them in my mouth. Like how fucking
That's
disgusting.
screwed up.
Yeah,
That would
fucking.
be fucked up. They got you lined up, and one of y'all's gonna get it.
He's got some good canines. I'll take one of his. I'll take her left molar.
It's sick.
Yeah,
Hey, you can be picky and choosy.
fuck, I guess so. Javi, what about you, sir?
I had a graduation. Oh, actually, let's see. Me and I took Kiana to watch Buzz Lightyear.
It's just Lightyear, man.
Is it really? Oh,
I think it is just.
It's
Like,
just Lightyear, man.
Who gives
it's
a
actually
fuck?
January 6th.
He came for you with that one.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, everybody knows what I'm talking about, though, right? That's all that matters at the end of the day, I feel like. But I went with my friend. Kiana has this little friend. Her name's Sophie.
Nice.
And I told her, I was like, we'll go watch the movie together with them. First time Kiana went to the theaters, too. She handled it pretty well.
Oh, that was her first time?
Yeah.
That's
Did she
good.
like it? Did you get a big thing of popcorn?
She liked it, yeah. She liked it.
Did they have like a special casing for the popcorn like they do sometimes?
No, I didn't even
Oh,
know.
like the tub, you mean?
The Buzz
Yeah, like
Light-
sometimes
Yeah.
they have, like,
specific.
The
I
tub.
thought they were going to have something like
I think it was only for
don't think they
premieres.
did.
I think it's like for the day it came
Yeah.
out.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I also think like
It'd have been
theaters-
dope if it came in like a Buzz Lightyear helmet. That'd have been sick.
Theaters
That
are
would've been
like
sick.
they're hurting.
They are.
So like they used
Bad.
to do like casings, but like, yo, sometimes I'll go to that Megaplex over in Sandy. No one checks my ticket anymore. Like people could be just
Why
ripping
can't you
off.
just go see movies?
Yes, absolutely. Because
Say
I
less.
always buy a ticket,
Say
but
less.
I've also never had my ticket checked in the last
Wow.
6 months, 7 months.
Wow.
For
It's
that.
crazy because they're just so like understaffed.
Oh my.
But yeah.
Did she like it?
yeah.
Does she like Woody or Buzz better?
She likes Buzz better.
Fuck. She's a cop.
That's crazy.
Well, Woody's a sheriff.
That's true, but a sheriff for the people. He was like on the Andy Griffith show, community policing.
Well, he's like
That's
like
what Woody was like.
Buzz is like a space ranger though. He's like a
It's
kind of
true.
like a
Yeah,
park,
space cop.
He's like a park ranger.
Who created the Space Force?
The who?
The Space Force. Trump. Buzz is part of the Space Force.
I thought that was Musk.
No.
I think he's part of SpaceX. I thought Buzz was.
No, maybe.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is.
Oh, is he?
honestly. I think his suit is Tesla.
So he's
made.
just out there with the dude whose dad owns slaves.
All right, you're reaching here. I don't know about that one.
The emerald mines in South Africa that Elon's dad made his money from were housed by slaves.
No wonder you own a Tesla. Anyways,
I don't.
But yeah, other than that, had a party yesterday. It was a graduation party / it was Yago's birthday.
Nice.
shout out Yago.
Shout out Yago.
Yago.
Got pretty fucked up.
Yago el Mago.
Yeah, it's not a podcast unless Javi gets fucked up.
I
the
think I've been
previous
doing
night.
pretty good. I usually haven't been getting fucked up before.
We got pretty fucked up last episode.
Yeah, on the episode, but
True.
I was just nervous as fuck.
So it's Saturday. So Javi's 8 times out of 10 you can fuck them on Saturday.
I'm not.
That's not true.
I've been
7 times out of
I've
10.
been trying to do it.
No,
just
I'd
Fridays.
say 5 out of 10.
No, half the time
Sure.
it's definitely above half.
No, you can go back and check.
Check the tape. Anyways,
Oof.
But
They're
yeah,
gonna pull
that's
the
about it. I
receipts on
think
you.
that's all.
pull those receipts.
They're
What?
gonna pull the receipts on you.
Yeah.
Sure, you do it. We'll do a.
If you pulled receipts, I am the one that's hungover the majority of the time of the three of us.
True.
I don't drink. I'm sober, Sally.
Oh yeah. What is
I think
that
that's
brown? What is that
me.
brown water?
I think I'm the only one in this room not drinking.
That's true.
That is true.
It's because you're a pussy.
But yeah, I think that's.
Damn, it's
just-
like that.
That's it.
Just kidding.
It's like that.
Damn, that's fucked up.
You want to go with your week? How was your week?
My week was pretty good.
You went to Stevie Nicks.
I want to say, yeah, I think you're right.
How was seeing?
I didn't fucking.
How was seeing the geriatric Stevie Nicks? Bro, she's 74.
Yeah,
How
she
is she
is.
still doing it?
She's great. She's
Is she-
awesome.
was she
was
really-
putting in work, bro.
Really?
She sung all the good
Like,
songs.
unbelievable.
How was it sold out too?
It was sold out.
Yeah, was it like 2-packed?
No.
Still
I was
just like-
I was on the lawn.
How many girls in witches hats did you see? Because a lot of the witchy girls like Stevie.
It wasn't
Nicks.
witchy vibes. It was more like gypsy type.
I got you.
Boho
Yeah.
type, like
Freeloaders.
long
Wanderers,
tapestry,
the
like
free
Right.
spirit.
yeah, long
Yes.
tapestry type, like cardigan for girls, just flowing
Sure.
and like.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
that left
74,
picture.
it's
Go to that
crazy.
left picture. That's probably more her now.
Bro, young Stevie Nicks could gazette it.
That left picture. Go to that left picture. That's probably what she looked like on stage.
Yeah, that is what she looks like.
I mean, even Stevie Nicks today could get it. That's a
she was
cougar.
awesome, bro. I mean, if you don't like Dreams and
Back.
Gypsy Girl and Rihanna and
Sheesh.
Edge of 17, bro, she was putting in work, bro. You know, she went to high school in Utah.
Really? What school?
Really?
What's it called? No, I said Wichita State on accident.
Which
What's it like?
Weber?
No, it's like fuck.
West?
There's a school in Utah called fucking.
Oh,
Pull it up.
look at her in high school.
Damn.
Oh, well,
That's Cap. She said.
Lying ass.
No, she said she went to.
She was fucked up.
yeah, she lied.
maybe it was. Oh wait. Yeah, did
Oh,
Stevie
look.
Nicks go to school in Utah? Utah.
Judge.
Judge.
Judge Memorial?
No, she didn't say
No
judge.
way.
She said something else. She said something with a W. Wasatch. Bam. Oh, junior high. She went to Wasatch Junior High, and then she said her dad took her to California, which obviously, I mean, fuck, that's probably why she got like.
So
Probably the
she
best
went
thing
to
for her.
California a month after going to
Yeah, so she went to-
Judge.
yeah, so she went to-
Wasatch Middle. then
Yeah,
Judge,
Wasatch
and then
Judge.
Cali.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And then she's like, I had this quote from my dad that I'll never forget. She's like, Stevie, we go where the money goes. And then Stevie Nicks was lit. Saturday, I had a little kickback at a homegirl's house. That was dope. Had some good people there. Some girl was giving fucking tattoos in the
Oh,
kitchen.
I was gonna say. I was like, what the?
Giving head.
Yeah, she was an apprentice, so she was just like, she had like her gun.
Stick. Oh,
All
she
right,
had her.
so she was an apprentice at least.
Yeah, she had her
Still,
gun.
though.
She had like,
My worst decision
Yeah, that's
ever
still-
was
that's
the
still very
tattoo
sketchy.
in the living room.
she
For
had like
sure.
hella needles, so it was like clean and shit, and she was doing her job. I was watching.
That's what's up.
Yeah, she was doing. I wasn't trying to get one though, that's for sure.
That's damn.
But they were dope.
But
Yeah,
to have her on the pod, she's gonna give me a tattoo live.
well, that'd be sick.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my week. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day, Trevor.
Thank you.
Javi.
I always forget.
Happy
about
Father's
that.
Day, Hobbs.
Yeah, you know there's Father's Day is I think the 20th
It's
most
always
celebrated holiday in the US
Really?
in the world. It's 20th. I can't think of 20 other holidays though.
So here's what's crazy. So
Fathers are getting the short
I
end
was
of the
listening
stick.
to a podcast. and-
Not Happy Father's Day to my father, man. You can fuck off. Anyways, go
Amen.
ahead.
Right back at you.
Mine as well.
I love you, Dad.
Yeah, Javi's the only one who's
Just
had like
the
a.
smile with the I love you, Dad.
I love you, Papa.
So in other countries, Father's Day is celebrated, but it's like a different day. I was listening to a podcast with this guy who lived in Sweden, and he's like, "Yeah, we celebrate Father's Day, but it's not the third or second Saturday or third Sunday of every month." He's like, "It's a different day."
Yeah, I think Mother's Day is like the third most celebrated holiday or top two.
Probably.
And then Father's Day is like 21st.
You know, they go out for a pack of cigarettes sometimes.
They're doing it to themselves.
You know,
That is facts.
it just happened.
Or there.
I'm going to visit my mom today on Father's Day. That's how fucked
Hell
up.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
big shout out to those moms. You
Did your
play
mom-
double roles. You feel me?
Did your mom
Yeah.
never date anyone after your dad?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did. Oh,
Yeah. Happy Father's Day, Melvin.
Oh. Melvin.
AKA Boo Boo.
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo.
Hey,
But
get
yeah.
down on the tracks, Chief.
Fact.
Maybe,
you remember that shit?
Yeah. What? I remember that shit.
He used to drink a lot, and all my friends would come over. He was like, "Hey, listen to these beats. What? Listen to these beats I made."
And then it like hella had like those ad-libs like, "Damn son, where you find that?" Hey, no, but he'd get down though.
No, yeah, he was kind of nice.
Is he still doing it? Maybe he should do.
He signed up for like a school.
He should
And
do
like
our
they send like a Mac.
Oh,
and
like
everything.
that Full Sail University.
I don't know.
Like
They
the
they
production?
sent him a full Mac and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like Full Sail.
Sounds
Yeah.
like Everest College.
The laptop.
I went to Everest College, got a free laptop. But let's turn our attention to our guests. Like I said, Natalie, thank you so much for coming on the episode.
That's right.
Natalie, tell the people out listening to the podcast what you do, what your life entails.
Absolutely.
So
my name is Natalie Clark, and I'm 23 years old, and I grew up here in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the foster care system. I spent about 6 years in the foster care system, a mixture of placements, foster care, proctor, group home, rehab, and a lot of things in between. And I went and got my bachelor's in social work from the University of Utah, and I became a social worker. So I now work for the Department of Child and Family Services, but I'm not Mrs. Stilio Kids. I'm not like that part of DCFS. So I'm actually a brand new position, the first one to ever hold it. It's the Lived Experience Transition to Adult Living Assistant Coordinator. So it's a lot of words.
that's a mouthful right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I say it too many times on meetings. It's like a tongue twister. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I make a fool of myself.
You need like a what is it, like not an ad lib, but
An abbreviation.
abbreviation, like
something
you
like
do.
that. Yeah.
I'm the
but-
ATCDB, some shit like that. I don't know.
But the system has so many acronyms.
Acronyms, that's
And
what
so
I
the
was thinking.
kids don't understand what that is. So we're common thrown out all these acronyms, and we don't know what it is. So it
Yeah.
helps for me to just like say and explain it to people. But it's just fancy for somebody with lived experience that's been through the foster care system that comes back to help young people navigate the system themselves. So everything from running a youth council, helping youth share their voice and experiences and participate in making change in the system, to putting my voice in on how policies are created throughout the system, directly supporting and mentoring youth. Then I'm also a national foster care advocate. So I'm a part of a national network of foster alumni called Foster Club. And I travel and teach materials and facilitate and do some advocacy through that as well.
Nice. So you're not a social worker?
I am. I
You-
have
you
a
are?
bachelor's in social work. Yes.
Okay, but like,
I could be a caseworker if I wanted to be.
That's what my
It's
little
just
sister does.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's
Mm-hmm.
lesbian. That's why she's a caseworker.
So, did you know, like, what age were you just like, I want to do this? This is where I want to.
I
my
think
time.
I started around 15 or 16 because my caseworker actually asked me if I wanted to share my lived experience on a youth council. And that was the first thing that made me go, oh, someone actually cares what I have to say, what I think, and what I've been through. And after that, I was sent to Washington, D.C. to represent the state of Utah, all of the foster youth, with Senator Orrin Hatch. And then I've done a couple other D.C. trips and advocacy since then. So it just kind of barreled in there. But when I started college, I wanted my major to be criminal justice. But that changed after a semester. I was like, no, I knew my passion and my purpose, but I kind of wanted to trick myself into something else that would be more exhilarating.
I feel that. I remember my social worker name. Her name was Miss Bible.
What?
Really?
Miss Bible.
That's tight.
Yeah, she put it down, man. She was dope. She gave me
Put it down.
She
My
gave
first
you
social
what?
worker's name was
Yeah, what-
Sunshine.
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 Dang, that sounds like two strippers. Coming up next, Miss Bible, and Sunshine. You said to me, what's a proctor home?
So when it comes to foster care, there's different levels of care. And it's based on a lot of different things. So foster care is for base level, typically younger children that come into foster care, and their needs may not be that outside of just any typical normal kid that you would see. And then the levels increase as the needs increase. So some kids may have therapy more often, may have meds, may have different things that require more parental supervision, oversight, and direct care. So those parents are also paid a little bit more for that time they have to put into it. Proctor parenting requires parents to have extra training because, of course, there is trauma-informed care. A lot of these kids do come from backgrounds of trauma.
Yeah.
That trauma presents itself different ways in youth, so you need to know how to deal with these youth instead of making it worse for them. So it requires some training and, of course, a little bit better pay.
Nice. And we wanted to bring Natalie on this episode, or just on the podcast in general. Foster care, foster parents, the whole foster system hits pretty home for me. I think Trevor.
I mean, for about a month.
Yeah, but adoption.
Right before I was adopted.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
Right, and
Adoption is
adoption
kinda
is very
similar.
closely intertwined.
Yeah.
Right?
So Trevor has an experience. Trevor, do you want to hit on your experience
Yeah.
going through?
So my mother was a drug addict, and she smoked crack, cigarettes, drank. She didn't know she was pregnant with me while she was still doing those things. So when I was born, I was just under 4 pounds. I could fit in the palm of like your hand. So I was in the NICU for about 3 weeks. And then while my parents were finalizing the adoption papers, I was in a foster home. That's why Christine's going to... I told her my foster name one time. And now, like, when she's mad at me, she'll call it to me.
You have a foster name?
Yes, and I'm going to tell it to you.
Wait,
You know how-
Christina calls you your foster name when she's mad at you?
Yes.
Isn't that kind of fucked up?
Yes, it is.
I was like, dude, that's kind of...
Anyway,
So wait, you were a baby at this point, though.
Can
so
we-
yes, so I was about a month
Can we
old.
guess his foster name real
Okay.
quick? What do you think his foster name was?
Is it pretty common? A common name?
It is a common name.
It's got to be a common name. I'm going with fucking...
Is it John?
No,
I was going to go with fucking...
next letter over.
Kevin.
Yes.
Ew. Fuck that name.
So
fuck my
anyway,
ex.
so no, so
They
so
saw this
here-
baby, they're like,
Not literally.
So here's the thing.
little Kevin.
So I was then placed into a foster home while the adoption was being
Kevin.
finalized, and I was this lady's K baby. Like she named all of her kids A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
I hate that. Utah, please stop doing
Well,
that.
this was in California.
Okay, well.
That too.
Ew.
People stop doing
Everywhere.
that,
People
please.
stop.
So
doing that.
anyway, so that was my So my name.
They're like, fuck, this is our Z baby.
My name
what the
was
fuck are we,
Kevin. My
what are we
name-
going to
my-
name this one?
Zulu.
Do you love your name?
Okay.
So much better now.
Yes, of course.
He went from
But
Kevin to
here's the
Trevor,
thing.
so it's like...
So here's the thing. Who's the most famous minion? Kevin, right?
That's
I
true.
fuck with the Minion movies so hard, and I think that's why.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Wait, how
so
old are you? How do you remember this name?
my parents told it to me because
Your
I was
parents-
I was born
Your
in
parents
October.
had communication with your foster...
Yes, because they adopted her from my
Yeah.
foster home.
And when you're adopting, you get records, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see what that child's biological born name was, and
Right.
you, as the parent, have the choice to then change their name.
So
Oh,
the
okay, yeah, 'cause
foster
your parents- your
choose a
par-
name?
So
you-
no,
typically adoptive.
they give so my foster mom didn't name me, like it's not on a birth certificate or anything. My parents named me. I was just in the foster care until the adoption was finalized.
Have you ever visited your foster?
No,
When you say parents now, you're talking about your adoptive parents?
my adoptive parents.
Okay, so you have no relationship with your...
What's up?
None
It's hard to get that
whatsoever.
info.
Like...
Oh, really?
I've seen. So here's the thing. Here's what's crazy. About 5-6 years ago, so I guess in my adoption papers it said my mom's name. So I looked her up on Facebook. I've never reached out just because.
That's interesting. Usually they remove that.
Here's kind of the thing. I think my parents probably fought for it. Honestly, my mom's pretty pit bull. There's two in my experience because all 4 of the kids in my parents' family are adopted. There's two realities. Adopted kids either feel chosen or they feel given up.
Yep.
I've always felt chosen, so I never wanted to reach out to her. Like I could,
Yeah.
but I just like my adopted parents did a lot for me. Like obviously they gave me a really good life that I wouldn't have had with my mom.
I think one of the most important things is that you had the ability to choose that. Like
For sure.
your parents gave you the right
Totally.
to, like, if you wanted to. A lot of times, like, our first families are shut off from us knowing them, and we don't get to find out, like, why, because there is that feeling of I was given up, but typically there's so much more behind that between giving up. It's
For
like,
sure.
for me, it's like once I knew why, it was like, well, shit, she didn't give up. She tried to give me something better, right? She couldn't do what I deserved.
That's what I've always felt.
So that's the best part. Shout out to adoptive families that do that, or
Right.
anyone that plans to adopt. Like, make sure that you give room and space for when they're ready.
So
to reach
here's
out.
what's crazy too is my parents, because they'd had 2 other kids before me, they had figured out how to do it.
Yeah. It's
No,
a
no,
weird
listen.
process.
So every year they would give me another piece of my adoption story until I turned 18, in which case, and I still have the book, my parents made all of us our own adoptive
Wow.
books where they said, this is the whole story. This is everything. And so I think that they like prepared us
She did.
really, really, really well. Like my parents, like I love my parents.
That's incredible.
So
Tips for anyone.
for sure,
considering.
anyone that's
This should
adopting,
be
do
the
it that way.
standard.
Give them like, because when I was little, when I was in high school, like, or when I was in like elementary school, kids were like, "Oh, you're adopted. Your parents don't like you." And I said, "Your parents had to keep you. Like, if they had like if they had bio parents, I'd be like, well, your parents had to keep you. Like, mine could actually give me up." So
That's facts. No, that's definitely true.
Network.
This is what?
Really?
This is who I'm a part of right here. If you search up my name, I'm on that in the search bar.
Foster Club?
Yeah, fosterclub.com.
There it is.
What was I gonna say?
What about you, Foss?
Yeah, dude.
No.
Are you like
Huh?
comfortable with sharing your experience?
Yeah, my mom listens to this podcast, so sorry, Mom. We're gonna air some dirty laundry here, but yeah. So in North Carolina, when I was like 12 years old, I went to the foster system like 3 or 4 times. The first time was kind of shit. I had to sleep on the floor next to the foster mom's bed.
Jesus.
I don't know why they chose her as a fucking foster mom. They didn't have a spot for the fucking kid to sleep.
Yeah.
So I slept on the floor, and I grew up sleeping on the floor a lot. That's why when I go to my friend's house, I'm cool sleeping on the floor. Huh?
You grew up sleeping on the floor a lot?
Kind of. When I was with my mom, we didn't have a bed, and so I slept on the floor a lot. And then we integrated to like, I slept on. My mom would take the couch cushions to the couch, and she'd put them she'd take
Like a
all
little
4 of
trundle
them,
bed,
and and she'd put a blanket on that, and I would sleep on that. And honestly, it was pretty comfy. Like,
I loved those. That's where I was most comfortable.
yeah, it's like fucking. It's not that bad, honestly. I sleep on the floor. That's why like when the bed I'm at, like beds are just overrated. Like, you don't really. Actually, now that you get older,
supposedly the floor is actually
it's better for your back.
Yeah. No, now that you get older, you probably want something more stable. Anyways, then the second time, I went back home, and then I think a lot of the time I got taken away was I think our neighbors are snitching. I meant to say not switching, snitching because we had like my mom was a part of a lot of domestic abuse. There's a lot of drugs involved in the home, and so people around the block were snitching. I wasn't ever in any danger. My mom was a great mom. I love my mom so much. Like, she's awesome. Like, I was never in any danger at any point. But I guess where they're coming from. Bro, the worst, I remember coming home. I remember I was in what do they call it? Middle school. And they call it middle school, North Carolina. And the second time, or this is the third time. Okay, let me not skip stories. Anyways, okay, the second time I got taken away, they sent me to like this Christian home. And it was when George Bush and Al Gore, I think, were in office.
Right, 2000.
Was it 2000? Was it 2002?
That election, you mean?
I remember they were for election. I think it was
right. So 2000 would have.
It might have been Bush's second term.
So if it was Bush and Gore, it would have been 2000. If it was Bush, it would have been 2000 and then 2004. Okay, so it would have been.
I don't know who he going to for. Anyways, I remember it was a super Christian home, and I actually had a room this time. I had a room.
Hell yeah!
I had a room and a bed. It was all mine. I remember it was Halloween. They were super Christian. They didn't let me go they didn't let me go trick or treating, and so I was a little upset about that. But I had a foster sister, and she was a baddie. I was like,
Hey.
What?
I was like, dang, can I sleep
You
in
tried
her
to
room?
fucking bury your bone in your foster sister?
Okay, first of all, I was like, who knows how old? I was like young as fuck, but I was just like,
fresh. It's innocent.
yeah, I was
We all
like,
had them
dang,
in
I
foster
can't sleep in
homes.
homegirl's room. And that's the first time my foster person, guy, I don't know if I'm a foster, that's weird. That's the first time I saw like non-alcoholic beer. Like he was like heavy addicted.
Oh, he's drinking O'Doul's?
He was heavily addicted to non-alcoholic beer.
What do you mean addicted?
Like he had tons of it in the fridge.
Do you think he was like an alcoholic and that's
He probably wasn't. Like,
No, but he was
that's what
Christian. Like they were.
No,
they
that's
were
what George
religious.
Bush.
But
George W. Bush
sometimes-
did that though. Like,
Commonly that happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
you like the taste of beer
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like W was
You
an
need to replace
alcoholic. He was also a cocaine addict,
Yeah.
which people don't talk about.
So I went back home. That one. So the first one was like a month or two. This one was like, I think like 3 months maybe. And then I go home again. Then I'm in middle school. This is a story I remember forever. I'm in middle school. I get called to the office, and I had a big fro. I get called to the office. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I doing in the office right now? Like, it's like fucking 10 o'clock in the day. Like, I'm supposed to be in class." I remember I had lice. I had hella lice.
What? Really?
I had hella lice. I'm like itching my head so bad. I remember the counselor's like,
Jumping out.
yeah, she's like, "Is your head okay?" I'm like, "I don't know. I think I got dry scalp." That's what I called it when you don't want to tell people you got lice. I think I got dry scalp, lady.
Well, you like knowingly had it.
I think
though?
I think I remember. I don't know if I remember. I don't know if I knowingly had it.
Yeah.
Bro, but stuff like that, like if you're in like foster homes, like a lot of times the parents don't like look for that kind of stuff.
I was at my house.
No,
I was with my mom.
And like you gotta remember, in a group home, like one kid gets it, they all get it.
Yeah, but the crazy part is, which I'm kind of glad, I never was in a group home.
Really?
Which I was kind of glad. I was only in single family homes, which is kind of nice because I don't know. Fuck group homes. I don't know. They're fucking rough. I heard about those. And then the cop escorts me home. I'm in a cop car. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, like they haven't told you.
No one's telling me shit, bro.
Damn.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm like in a cop car. I'm like fucking 11 years old. And I'm like,
Damn.
yo, what the fuck? Did I do something wrong?
Am I getting arrested?
Yeah, we pull up to my trailer, pull to my mom's house in the trailer park. There's hella cop cars at my mom's house.
Damn.
We pull up, bro. I see my mom on the front porch screaming, hysterically crying. They're like trying to restrain her. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? She's bawling. She sees me, bro. She starts crying even more. They're like, you need to go inside and get your stuff. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what is going on, bro. Like, no one's telling me shit. Like, anyways, they end up fucking telling me, I'm like, you're going to go in foster care. You're going to go live with this family. And I went to Jacksonville, which was like, I think it was like an hour or two away. Like, this is how ghetto North Carolina was. That an hour or two away, that was the first mall, like in the distance of like where I was at. And I lived with Miss Jaquetta.
Mr. Quetta.
Yeah, she was great. Honestly, she was awesome.
Sounds good already.
Yeah, I lived with her. She was in the military.
Damn.
I lived
what
with her.
branch?
I think is the military branch? Isn't it?
No, bro. Army,
No,
Air
like
Force,
Army,
Marines,
yeah.
Navy.
Marines. Okay, fuck.
She was a Marine?
I get Marines in.
Holy shit.
So she was a
bro.
Marine. She
Bro,
was a
that's-
Marine, and we lived on base. And base was sick because
Oh,
it's like
that's sick.
That's
it's like your own community.
Yeah, it's
you know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
commissary. You got like
They
good
get-
meals. Yeah.
Yeah.
They get like they got a store. They got
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can buy fireworks and
For the
beer
most
like
part.
really cheap on
Anyways.
base.
Yeah.
They had she had two other kids. She was trying to adopt Javion and some other kid, and she had
It does that. Sometimes.
and she had another kid she was fostering, and he was like a fucking gangbanger. Like, so I was like, oh, I learned a lot of shit from him, but he wasn't there that long. I was there for like a year. Javion was a fucking crybaby. Anyways, I stayed there.
Dude.
I remember he just cried a lot. He was just a whiny baby, bro. Like, not baby. He was a
I mean, he
kid.
probably could have had some trauma.
He was like 3. True, but he was like.
You were
Anyways,
like, man up, youngin.
but yeah, I lived with
Foss
Miss,
is out.
I lived with Mr. Quitter for like a year, and she taught me a lot of things. I'm still in contact with Mr. Quitter now.
Really?
We always
Oh,
reach
really?
out.
That's cool.
She's
Yeah.
still in the Marines?
I think she retired like 3 years ago.
Probably a 4-star general.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
like she runs
I
like
reached
tight shit.
reached out to her, and she taught me a lot. She was really strict on me, and I met a lot of cool friends, and that's about it. And then they were like, okay, I'm sorry, I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry. We gotta
No,
get back
that's
to
good,
get
that's
back to Natalie.
Oh, this is
And then I lived with Mr. Quitter for like a year on base, and then I go back there like, hey, if you want to live with your mom again, my mom had to leave North Carolina.
Right.
And they're like, yo, if you want your son again, you need to go to a better place in your life, blah, blah, blah. So she moves to Utah. This is a fucking my life story, how I ended up in Utah. Moves to Utah. I have no baby pictures. I have no baby clothes. I have no
Keepsakes.
keepsakes from when I was
Because
younger.
she just had to pick up and move.
Well, no, because she gave it to our neighbor who was quote unquote our friend. And she was like, hey, hold these and ship them to us.
Yeah.
And this is how broke we were in North Carolina. And it cost $40 to ship it. And the lady just kept the $40.
No way.
And she has all of our stuff, all my like stuff, baby, like blankets.
Still has it
What if
though?
she still has
Oh, I don't know.
Bro, you need to fly out there. We need to get that shit.
Bruh, like, I mean, ask her if you said.
I don't even know her name. I don't know her name
Is your
anymore.
mom not either?
That your mom
I can
does.
ask.
Yeah,
I can ask.
bro,
but
you need to get
Dude,
that
that's
shit.
It's
some
been
shit.
fucking forever, bro. Who knows if she still has that shit?
I mean, shit. If she forgot that shit in the basement or the garage,
Right.
I bet you. Yeah. Anyways, and then they were like, if you want to live with your mom again, you gotta go to Utah where your mom's at. You gotta get on a plane by yourself. Miss Jaquetta, that's how strict she was. She's like, okay, you're going to Utah in 3 months. I want you to write me a report on Utah. And I want you
That's
to tell
good,
me
though.
all about
Hell yeah.
Utah. That's how I learned about the Beehive State. I learned I think the national birds like a seagull and shit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
I-
the California seagull.
Yeah, I just remembered like random fucking facts about Utah because I literally was like searching this place. I'm like, I had never heard of Utah until I watched Arthur and Buster.
Oh yeah.
He would
Wait.
do the things where he would go to different states.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
would go-
like the reporter.
Yeah, he would go to different
Yeah,
states. He was in
yeah,
Utah.
yeah.
I was like, yo, it looks cold there. He was there. They were
He
like,
was there in Utah with Warren Jeffs. Like,
Yeah. And so, anyways, they're like, if you need to go to Utah, if you want to live with your mom again, you got to go to Utah. You got to live with your Aunt Marilyn, who was super fucking Mormon. I love Aunt Marilyn, though. I love you, Aunt Marilyn. Live with her for a year. Go to church. She made me read a book a night and shit. I had to go.
hell yeah.
I had to go to bed at like 10 o'clock. Anyways, and then finally, now I'm back with my mom. So that's my fucking journey. I have 2 brothers and sisters. I never met them before in my life.
I never knew that.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I have a blood brother, a blood sister, half sister. I met the half sister. My blood brother and blood sister got adopted before.
Closed adoption.
Before
Yeah.
I was born. They got taken away like almost like right away. I don't know their names. They got their names changed.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could still find them.
Ancestry.
Yeah, Ancestry.com. Or
Like,
don't do
doing
that
those-
one because that's the church. So do 23andMe.
I don't know if
the
I want them to have my
23andMe
DNA and shit.
ones. Yeah.
No,
I was thinking of doing
That's
that.
how I'm gonna try and find my sister.
That's how I'm gonna try it. Like
I'm
gonna
scared
see
to
if
find out I'm less black than I am. Honestly, that's
Bro,
what.
you're black, bro.
I know. I don't want to be
I
like.
hate that though, because like in history, like it was one drop, right? What about
Right.
that one drop law? Like you got one drop, you're not worthy of any rights. But then it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, being mixed, it's like you're not black enough, you're
Yeah.
not white enough. Like,
Bro,
no,
we had
like,
This motherfucker's
African American
27%.
guest. We had an African American guest like four
He
or
meets
5
his
weeks
sister
ago,
and
and
drops down to 10.
he goes, "Hey Foss, how is it like not being black?" And we were like,
Who was that? Is that?
"Keith."
Oh yeah.
Remember when
Keith, yeah.
Keith
Yeah,
was
he
like-
was fucking around.
That's
Yeah,
out
he
of
keeps
No, I don't
fucking
think he
pocket.
was.
That's
No, he
out of
was.
He
pocket
was.
though, but that reinstills those like really harmful narratives. Like we gotta cut that off, starting with like the black and white.
Take it easy, Nancy
community.
Pelosi.
Hey,
No, she's
kidding.
speaking
Get
facts.
wrecked.
She's speaking facts. So, but yeah, and then they got adopted before I got to know them.
So they were both older than you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
with
I think they
your
got
dad
adopted
and
to California.
mom, or
Yeah, they're both blood, like 100%.
So have you ever tried to find your dad?
Oh, I found him.
Oh, you
I
did?
know I found your dad before.
I
Oh,
found him.
okay.
He's just a fucking asshole.
Where
Like,
is he?
He's trash. Well, he got out of the state penitentiary after
Oh.
serving state penitentiary for 17 years.
Yeah.
17 years.
Something like that. Yeah, it was battery. It was fucking
Sheesh.
drugs. He would have got longer, but he snitched. He Takashi.
Oh, he fucking took
He
it.
Takashi
Oh, yeah.
6ix9ine to a lot of people.
yeah.
And so he motherfucker gets out, calls my mom. He's like, "Yo, I need to learn D's social security number. I'm trying to."
Oh my God.
I'm
He's
trying
trying
to
to
set up my
he's trying to
light
set up the
bill.
cable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Set
the
up the water
cable.
bill.
No, he literally says,
No, remember that?
I'm trying to get cable. I'm like, motherfucker.
Remember on Verizon, people would be like, no, you'd talk to these kids and they'd be like,
Yeah.
well, my credit's fucked up because my mom put the cable bill in
Yeah.
like my name.
And I'd had customers be like, "All right, I'm gonna give you the number," and they'd be like, "The birthday is 2003," and I'd be like,
Right.
Miss Ma'am."
No, my dad's a fucking asshole. I had to message him one day. I'm like, "Yo, bro, don't talk to me again in my life."
Really?
Because he was like trying to start problem with my mom. She brainwashed me, bro. I was like, I saw you beat her ass. Like my eyes, like I saw you fucking try to burn her
Yeah,
alive, bro. Like
What?
I saw it. Yeah, this is dark stories. I'm like, I saw those with my own eyes, bro. I'm like, fuck you, bro. I was like, don't ever talk to me
Yeah.
again, bro. My mom's the best thing ever. So
Good
like,
setting
For
those
sure, man. Yeah,
boundaries.
for sure.
yeah, so fuck him. Honestly, that's why I said fuck Father's Day. I'm gonna
sure,
go visit
man.
my mom
No, I feel
today.
you.
Shout out. Anyways, well, that's a lot. I don't really go over that stories a lot, but
Thanks for sharing it with us.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
thank
for
you,
real.
man.
And then, but honestly, I feel like growing up in the foster home, foster like in those areas, I feel like you can either go two ways. You can either like grow from it and honestly like be such a better person and just know like all those trials and tribulations and like these like negative narratives in your life and then just grow from it and honestly just be such a better person. Or you can just go down to like you can just give up and go down such a shit hill and just say like, you know what, I'm worthless anyways. Like no one wanted me. My mom didn't want me, yada yada yada. So it's
Yeah.
like you can
So-
have
I think that goes a lot of different ways because the reality is a lot of those kids that are coming to that place, they're falling through the cracks of the system.
Yeah.
And a lot of those young people, what we're seeing, the ones that do succeed, they had at least one supportive person that cheered
Exactly.
them on and believed in them, right? They had one person
Like
they could
homeboys.
call
Like Miss
at
Jaquan.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
and
Jaquetta.
say, hey, I need
Jaquetta.
help. Someone that would bail them
Shout
out
out.
no matter what, somebody that believed in them. And like on the other side, we're seeing all those kids that are falling through the cracks. They don't even have one support person.
That's facts.
So
and I feel like it's hard when you're in a group home too. It's like I remember like hearing stories like
So what's a group home?
a group home was
it's for
like
a lot of
you ever seen
kids.
Annie?
Yeah, that's
like,
Have
you know
you
what
ever seen-
orphanage is?
yeah, orphanage.
It's like an orphanage,
Oliver.
but it's like less kids. So like here, our group homes are typically like 10 to 15
Kids?
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah,
Like, and they got
regular
bunk
house?
beds and
it's a room,
shit.
and you share a room with like however many in a room, and it's just like a facility, and there's staff that come through and switch shifts and just like oversee.
So it's like
Oh,
a
so they
government.
don't
It's like
even
a
really have
government.
they don't even have like
No.
parents.
There are
No.
some. We're trying to move towards family-centered group homes where it's like a more of
Yeah.
a family setting where it's a mom and a dad, and it's like that. But they're less.
Do you know how they decide if you go to a group home versus a family home?
Well, there's a lot of things that decide. So we have the Christmas box home, which is for our kids that are like age 0 to like 14. And if we don't have like an emergency placement available, like a family that's available to take this kid as soon as they're removed, they'll typically go to the Christmas box home to transition and wait there until there is a family available. Right now we have a shortage in Utah. We have half the amount of foster families as we have foster kids.
It's 1 in 3, right? It's 3 foster kids for every one.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, a friend of mine just had one of her ex's kids go in, and she was waiting in the Christmas box for the last 3 months to get a placement. So, but then there's situations where you can go straight into a home. And then there's group homes. Sometimes group homes are more therapeutic focused or different things like that. So sometimes they're used as punishments, because you have to remember group homes are for profit. So they're making a certain amount of money based on that bed being filled. So the longer that bed's filled, the more money that group home is making.
And that's the... Go ahead, Trey.
So wait, hold.
Are you going to stay on this topic? 'Cause I want to say something about this subject.
I am. No, yes.
About the group home thing. Let's stay on it.
Why is it like, what law is it that is saying that group homes can be for profit? Like, how can we make that not for profit, or how can we fix this?
I mean, the same thing, you look at the criminal justice system.
Sure.
You've got states that are completely for profit. You've got state run. You've got a mixture of both. There isn't really anything protecting it. Everything's monopolized.
Right.
So it depends on those in power. Like Mike Lee makes money off
He's
of...
going to get voted out. Don't even worry about him.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Okay. You can say that, but my boyfriend's...
Wait, who's Mike Lee?
Mike Lee is a Tea Party senator who is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to the state of Utah.
I've been working on the campaigning all year against him.
He is so far right that even like Mitt Romney's like, no, fuck this guy. Like, he wants to enact...
I meant Mitt Romney, not
He
Mike
wants
Lee.
to enact Sharia law. I like Mitt Romney.
All right, cool. But back to this who's making profit? Who is it?
The state.
The state?
Well, no, not per se, because so the way it works is you can open up a group home, and
Like
then you
me.
need to get licensed. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
If you fit all of the requirements for licensing for a group home, you can open up a group home. It doesn't matter whether you're for profit or nonprofit, but there isn't really a difference, because nonprofit just means there's no money left over after salaries.
Yeah.
So if you're paying yourself out fat as fuck, you can still be profiting.
Yeah, you
like
just
hell
playing
off
the
these
numbers.
kids.
Yeah.
And then you get a contract with the state of Utah saying, I will take this many of your kids for this much money. And the state will say yes or no, I can or can't afford that. So we have, depending on the services you can provide, we can give you this much money, so on and so forth. So it's not even really the state that's making money. The state is the one that's paying for the care out of taxes. So it's whoever the entity is that opens up the group home.
The LLC.
And it's like, and a lot of, fostering kids isn't, free. These parents,
I know
the parents get paid for it.
That's the thing that's kind of sick.
That's the sick part, bro. Okay, yeah, no, a lot of these parents, there are good foster parents. Obviously they want to do good in the world, but there's, with every good person there's about 3 bad people.
I've been told I was a mortgage payment and a paycheck.
Exactly, exactly.
By who?
Foster homes that I lived in.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, straight up. Told that, we're keeping you until we pay off this house, and then we're not doing foster care anymore. You are a paycheck.
Yeah, I remember this one story. They just kept this kid in the basement, and
Oh, yeah.
they didn't really feed him a lot. He was ended up eating the insides of the walls and shit. The cops found him, and he was 80 pounds. He was 17 years old. Weighed 80
There was
pounds.
that foster family that turned their kids into slaves in California.
I mean, a lot of them do. I was a deep cleaning housemaid before I was allowed to have a visit with my 85-year-old grandma for 4
What?
hours on a Sunday. I had to deep clean a woman's house. I had to earn my right to visit my grandma. We're babysitters, free babysitters. You know what
Exactly,
I mean?
yeah.
The reality is that that's just kind of, and the thing with foster care is you can't profit off of it if you're treating these kids like your own. If you're foster care doesn't make money. We don't pay good rates for foster care or even proctor.
take care of the
but
kids.
if you have homes like I had where they're not buying food, they're not cooking for me, they're not giving me rides anywhere, they're not doing anything for me, then just having a bedroom in their home was all they needed, and they were making X amount of money off me every month.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you're caring for if you actually.
They don't got to pay attention to the kid. They don't got to do nothing. They just got to make sure they're
I had
alive.
a family that didn't speak English. I
So,
never spoke a conversation.
What? So,
with them.
Wait, they speak Spanish or something?
what
shit.
part of
Really?
the system
Wow.
is broken?
Every single part of the system, because the system, the way I say it is the system isn't broken. The system is functioning exactly how it was made to function. That's the problem.
I get you.
And just like the criminal justice system was to replace slavery and to replace. I mean, you set a bunch of black people free, and you don't want them to have rights, right? So
Sure.
what do?
Jim Crow.
You create laws to
Gerrymandering.
make stealing and any means they have of survival illegal.
Yeah.
And then you get free slaves off of the prison system, right? So I'll say the child welfare system was started with a little bit better intentions, right? It was started by a church worker that just came upon a home where a little girl was so abandoned and abused that it was just, and there were no laws against child abuse. So we had to go through animal abuse laws. It came about the right way, but really it just preys on families in poverty and families of color and people experiencing substance abuse and mental health problems.
So, you can go ahead.
So in the foster care system, we have about 420,000 kids at any given time in the U.S. foster care system. About 113,000 of those kids are available for adoption right now. And some of the outcomes for kids that experience the foster care system is about 1 in 5 will become homeless after 18. And that's typically for young people that age out of the foster care system. So aging out is when you turn 18 in foster care and you typically don't have a family to adopt you or any permanency.
That sucks. That's the shitty part.
Is that what happened?
That is what happened.
Okay.
Yes. So mine was a little bit different. I got my ex's parents to take custody of me a few months before my 18th birthday. So I technically got guardianship, but I aged out because, of course, my ex's family wasn't my family. So when I was no longer dating the son, I no longer had a family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was contingent upon your relationship with him?
Yeah. So
you don't know
I stayed so long in that
crazy.
toxic relationship y'all watched me in,
right?
Because I've always wanted a family, and so I stuck to keep a family.
That's sad.
So I basically aged out without any of the perks of aging out because I didn't get insurance till 26, and I didn't get like the help with like getting into housing that some young people get. So mine was a little bit different, but I technically aged out. But only about half of us will be employed by age 24 after leaving foster care. About 3% earn a college degree, and only
shout out you being the 3%.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Real. No, that's a daunting number that's just held so highly over all of our heads. It's really fucking
out of
tough.
fucking
and
300,000 people.
There's scholarships available.
More
Like
than.
it's not that we can't go to school. Like school is provided to us. It's like how are we going to go to school if we don't have housing or support and we're 5 grades behind, right? So there's a lot going into what causes that 3%. 71% of young women from the foster care system will become pregnant by age 21.
Shout out for you beating that.
Yeah. So, and I actually, from what I know, is that number has gone up a little bit.
Oh my God.
And 1 in 4 will experience PTSD.
I was like PTSO for a second. What the fuck is PTSO?
So yeah, there's been 3.3 million reports of
Javi
violence
knows things about
against
that.
children.
It's not funny.
3.3 million reports turned into about 250 kids in foster care. 250,000 in foster care.
Can I look at this fucking thing? What the fuck is this?
What?
This one says
how can people help?
So
Like people like Christina and I, we don't want kids. Like, what do I have to do? No, I'm
adopting a kid.
I'll foster kids right now. Tell me what I have to fucking do.
And adopting a kid is fucking.
It's hard. It's so
hard
expensive.
and expensive.
So no. That's what I hate. So there's 3 different kinds of adoptions. There's international adoption, right? So that's, of course, getting a kid from another country. That's the most expensive time, right? You have to fly there, come back, wait, go back, blah, blah, blah. Then there's private adoption, which is typically the expensive one. That's the one that takes a lot of money because they're private social workers. They're typically profiting off of certain things. Not all, but some. Then there's adoption from foster care, which is free or little to no cost, sometimes about $100 for court fees.
Free?
Free.
Really? I didn't
Adopting
know that.
Can you pick?
Let's all adopt.
And you can pick your kids still. You can.
Don't say it like that.
Well, no, like I'm saying, like because there's 3 different levels, so it's like.
Yeah.
Are you still?
You are going to be placed with a young person that you qualify to take care of. So if you decide to take the training necessary for whatever level, that's fine. But the point is to find a family for a kid. So we're not going to put a kid with a family that just can't handle them. It doesn't match, right?
So like just a random like here.
Right.
Just
But like for y'all, because I know you,
Lewis,
like,
you're going with Javi
I
today.
would personally recommend fostering LGBTQ teens because here in Utah we have a Mormon culture, and it was already really hard to find a home for a gay or lesbian kid, but now we're throwing on binary and trans and people just don't want to deal with it. So our LGBTQ teens are having no placements. They're spending all their time in group homes. They're not being affirmed in their placements. So I had one experience where I went on a visit with a home and potentially going to be a foster kid of theirs. I was supposed to be an overnight, and after I told them I was bi and had a girlfriend, they sent me back to the group home and didn't continue the overnight.
Right,
me personally.
Yes.
Oh,
so
shit.
like this was a Mormon family that did that to me
Yes.
at the age of 14. So I mean, the biggest thing is we really need foster placements that are affirming to identities and teens, because no one wants a teen. Everyone thinks of fostering and adopting. They think of, oh, a cute little baby. I don't want a kid that has issues, trauma, that's fucked up.
They ran away, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's kind of like I'm not trying to.
That's how people look at it.
Well, I'm not saying like the same thing as like dogs or something.
Buying a car or a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you don't want like a 4-year-old dog from a random person. Like you want a puppy. Like you want like a.
But what I've realized is the best dogs are the ones from the shelter.
Yeah, low
so
key.
what can
you do
if someone wants to be a foster parent?
Yeah.
What are the criteria that they need to meet so that can happen? Because I feel like a lot of people think that it's harder than it is.
That is very true. So every state has different licensing requirements. If you want, you can pull up foster parent licensing requirements. But typically you have to have a bedroom for the youth. They can share bedrooms with
How the fuck did my lady fucking qualify it?
This guy was on
but
the
I'm on the fucking floor.
I slept on the floor in one too, so I don't know. But the thing is, if there's other rooms in the home and they got licensed saying that they're going to let the kids sleep in that room, but then they didn't, that's commonly how I think mine got away with it.
They're like, hey, we need to place these 2 children. Who's taking them? I'll fucking do it. They can sleep next to my fucking bed. I don't give a shit.
So the bedroom has to have at least an outlet and a closet, and it has to be a certain square footage. And
so that room right there.
Yeah.
Could
absolutely.
Trevor, you can't put it in the bathroom, bro. That's fucked up. Babe. What are you pointing at the bathroom for?
Not what I said.
That's.
You really foster care?
I would, bro.
I feel like you have
Bro,
small
the
patience.
Best foster
There's 3 kids to every foster parent. You don't understand. This is a fucking emergency.
This is how Trevor talks to the kid.
I know, but still though, like you want.
Yes, I would.
The kid comes home. The kid spills something. Trevor fucking starts yelling like
that. For the
that.
past 5 years,
That's
like
really
this is
gonna
something
get
he
the
said.
Bro, it is a state of emergency.
And I'd like to point out,
but some of these kids
we
have
have the smallest emergency out of other states. So we have kids right now sleeping on the floors of DCFS offices for up to weeks because we don't have room in group homes and we don't have foster homes for them. So Utah is one of the states that is accepting kids from other states because they're so full. But like, hello, we don't
Utah's
have
bad too.
So like, what are we doing? So
it's
only getting worse.
One of these days, watch. I'd be down.
Bro, we don't want.
No, but like a dope ass group home. We could have a dope ass group home.
Yeah, how are we gonna be in the backyard? Like, I need you to run from here and from here. I'm gonna time your ass.
Here's something that I want to talk about.
Hey,
a lot of people don't want to foster. A lot of people don't want to foster. They say like one of the big things that they say is, "Oh, I'll fall in love with the kid," and it's like, "Oh, so you mean you just adopt them?"
Care too much,
and it's just like,
well, I mean, that's the point because we have 2 ends of the spectrum. We either have someone that doesn't give a fuck about us or someone that cares too much, and like, you're gonna have grief.
Low key, that's what scares me because I've thought about it.
How are people?
Not being serious.
How are people that are not? How are people that are not qualified to foster? How are they still fostering? Like, how is there not a catch-all?
There's not enough,
shortage.
there's a shortage.
We need these kids to go somewhere so people are just skating through, right? Like, I mean, we have certain rules, right? You're supposed to be married, and because that causes a disruption if you're not.
Sure.
For me personally, I was
two of my 3 were single parents.
Well, no.
Is it different per state?
But you can't be a couple living together and not married.
Okay, I get you.
Can LGBT?
Yes.
If they're married or not married, or is there
married? It's the same as a straight couple, but that depends on the state because there are agencies that are run by religious organizations that turn away LGBTQ foster parents because they say it doesn't fit with them.
Because they want the LGBT community, they want to foster more than anyone. Mm-hmm. Like studies have borne that out.
Well, I mean, because they can't. They can.
No, they can't.
It's
they can say they can't.
They can. It just costs a lot of money. It just costs money. They got to do like what's it called when someone else has your baby?
An in vitro.
Yeah. So
it's
a donor.
I thought it was called something else.
A donor.
No. Like,
I'm actually gonna be
when you put your sperm in someone like another person.
Like what did Kim Kardashian do?
A donor. Yeah.
A surrogate.
Surrogate. That's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna be Alyssa's surrogate. When she has
hold on.
She wants to use my sperm.
You're going to be her sperm donor.
I'm like, you're going to get... Yeah, I was like, I thought Trevor's going to get pregnant.
I mean, I can.
Okay, chill out.
You can milk anything that has nipples.
Fuck.
All right.
That was very anti-trans. I'm sorry. The trans community. But that's just crazy to me that, like, we're letting fuckheads
Let me ask something.
Kids.
Do, like, certain people... How do I want to ask this, actually? Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Take your time. Gather your words, man.
So, like, because I'm guessing, like, the foster parents, like, they go through some testing or something that, like, you get certain kids, right? Because this is what I'm saying. Because
really,
like,
and that's the problem. Every agency gets to do it different. So because we're DCFS, right, and then we contract out to agencies for foster and foster care. They do the hiring of the foster parents and the training. There's not like a set training that is statewide, so they kind of get to decide what training modules they want to follow. So I've personally seen one of the books at one of the agencies, and it's just a big binder full of papers, and it's worksheets. And you go through, and like if the parents decide to do it, like then they're trained. Woo! You're like you're good enough to deal with kids with.
So
immense
no one
trauma.
is like actually teaching them anything. They just have to fill out paperwork.
Oftentimes not. And then there are some agencies that go above and beyond that have like regular trainings in person, and they just really, really enforce.
Can I ask you a question?
well, no, hold
Yeah.
up, because I think
Okay.
so. My question was kind of, I think I said it. I don't think I explained myself well, but so like, let's say like Fossey, obviously, I think him going through the foster system, they knew that mom was still gonna possibly be there. Fossey was gonna end up being back with his mom. Is there like certain kids that go to certain homes where it's like we're okay with just taking care of them for a little bit and then you go versus I low-key want to adopt a kid. Is there like a different
So we try to stay away from fostering to adopt because that creates a harmful narrative of foster care is for adopting, and
You
all
have
these
to do
kids
it,
are
yeah.
don't have a family that's trying to get them back.
but can you like sign up for
But you
something that's
can,
like
right?
what
So
you're
there's
looking
different kinds of placements. There's emergency placement where you only do temporary, anywhere from 30 to 90 days. There's respite where you just take kids while the foster family goes on a vacation or has some time away or gets a break, or you can say, I'm interested in adopting. So if
people
there's
do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they'll go on vacation, they'll just
I've
have their kids
only had one
fostered?
family that ever took me on vacation with them, and every
why-
other time
like-
I was left with strangers. And then the bio kids come back and tell me all about how great Disneyland was.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, what the
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like, why
They
wouldn't
have to
they?
pay
Like,
for it. The
yeah, they
state's
have
not
to pay
going to pay for
it.
me to go to Disneyland.
The state's not. Yeah, exactly.
I know, but it's still
They're
kinda
not paid
sick,
enough to
though.
pay for it.
So here's my question.
I would feel that's why I
Of
feel
course
like
you would feel left
I would
out.
feel
Genuine.
bad. I
Yeah.
feel bad.
Of course you would.
You
feel
But some
left
people,
out.
they don't look at you and like,
They don't
that's
look
a
at you
human
like that,
being.
bro.
They just
They look at
that's
you
a
like
check.
a
Paid.
yes.
disgusting.
How is the LDS Family Services with the foster? So here's why I ask, because half of the kids in my parents' family were adopted through that. My little sister, my older sister, my brother, and I were adopted through the California state.
I'm only an expert of my own experience, so I didn't personally work with them, but I know a lot of young people that
So
have.
do you not work with them now in the position that you're in?
No, they are their own separate
Entity.
entities. So I know
Okay.
young people that have experienced their system, specifically LGBTQ identifying
Sure.
young people. So the experience wasn't great.
I understand. Yeah.
But I never got involved with them.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're listening out there and you do want to do something, don't listen to what you've heard on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
I didn't know that.
TV
Well,
is. It's
follow
not that.
the right people.
Yeah.
Right? Like listen to the right
Follow
things.
Natalie.
There's me, there's a page called Foster the Teens. Listen to people with lived experience, because a lot of times we go in, become social workers, we become foster parents, and we try to teach people how to do it right. There's foster parents out there giving advice for exactly what you said, that I'm going to love them too much, it's going to hurt. They give advice on how to deal with that grief and how to understand
Or just
that
adopt
you are
the
serving a
fucking kid.
purpose, right?
But
So
sometimes you
listening to the
can't, though.
right outlets and
Yeah.
educating yourself.
Like if I had a little Foss in my house, and I was like, damn, dude, like
You wouldn't want to adopt him. I get it.
no, I'd be like, shit, like I want to help this kid out. I want to give him a life that he deserves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's like he goes off with his mom.
Yeah,
feel
you'd
like,
feel bad.
Yeah. Which I'm not saying that he's not gonna have a good life with his mom. I was just being selfish on my part because I've already built this bond with this kid and I want to help.
Not
him.
Like I
often,
fucking
commonly.
Like, look
taught
at-
him how to read.
Like homegirl that you still talk to. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you would have been an option that she could have adopted you, she probably would have done it.
So here's what's crazy.
Maybe I don't know. I'm just
my
speaking.
doctor,
I mean,
the
I
one,
might have been too light skinned from Mr. Dakota. She's like,
Javon was crybaby. He had a
my
There was
doctor,
another
the
kid
one
too,
that
but
birthed
fuck.
me, he was a man of the Jewish faith. And when I was born, he said to my parents, he was like, if you hadn't adopted him, I would have.
Oh.
So it's
So you could've
crazy,
been a
bro.
Jew?
Like, I would have been
amazing.
Jewish. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
I
No,
was
yeah,
almost
you-
adopted too.
You probably wouldn't have been here.
What
You probably
happened?
would've
You know what
had your
happened?
own
My dad
podcast.
got me back. So my dad didn't know I was his daughter till I was five.
So that's something that I
Wait,
want to talk.
what?
That's
So
something
you
that I
actually
wanted to
reconnected
talk.
with your father.
That's something that I wanted
one
to talk
at a time,
about.
fellas. One at a time.
When there is someone who wants to adopt a child, the parents have all the say in it, even though
parental
you're in
rights
the
are a
foster care system.
Yeah.
Until you
So-
give those rights.
But
I mean-
they have a certain amount of rights they give up. Like when you send a child, are you talking about like foster
There's
care or
a
adoption?
process.
I'm just saying,
Like,
if
are you
she's
saying-
in the foster care system, her foster parents want to adopt her. Her parents still have the final say.
Depending. So,
Oh, really?
When it comes to foster care, reunification services, you're only allowed so much time for DCFS because they see it as a waste of money to give too long of two many services. So the max is typically a year with the chance of a 90-day extension. So you have a year and 3 months to get your kids back. After that, their permanency plan can change and your parental rights can be terminated. If the court decides to terminate your parental rights because you've exceeded that year and 90 days, then your parental rights are terminated and whatever can happen. But the thing that happened to me was I was in a foster home that wanted to adopt me. My mom was going through treatment, wasn't able to get me, and they wanted to adopt me. But in order to adopt, you have to have both parents give up their parental rights.
Right.
So they had to find my father.
So they have to sign
So
those
my
away.
dad had to sign over his rights, and he said, no, I want her like I was a puppy. And then, he had a right to me, so I was removed from the most incredible family ever. Dad was a doctor. Mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Damn.
Sisters
So
were
did you-
athletes.
But you didn't end up going back to your dad.
I did go back to my dad. So I went to
Oh,
my
you did?
dad when
Oh,
I
you
was
did
5.
as well as your mom.
They placed, so I was with my mom originally in like rehabs, motels, and things like that.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
then I went into foster care, went in a couple of those, went to an adoptive home, and then went back with my dad. I lived with my dad and my grandma because my dad never had a job, never was a stable person, which I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. And then I was
She'll
there
be
for about
fine.
10
Just give him
years.
back to her.
Do you have any say in that?
No.
She's fucking
No.
7.
Teenagers get a little bit more of a say, but they didn't give a fuck what
Yeah.
I wanted. So they
Yeah.
just this strange 6'6" man walked up to my house one day and said, "I'm your dad. You're coming home with me."
So after that, did you go back into foster care again?
Yeah, so I was with my dad for about 10 or 12 years. He was heavily involved in prescription meds and sold them. So I was selling pills for him.
Opioids.
And I was like sexually, emotionally, and verbally and physically abused for about 10 years in that home. Sorry to lay that on, just a trigger warning. And then actually there were child abuse reports made every year of my life. Social workers would come to the school, talk to me, but in the Mormon culture, it's sweep it under the rug.
Right.
So everyone said everything was fine, even though I came to school with black eyes.
Wait, was your dad LDS?
My grandma was. So
Oh,
my
your
dad
grandma.
was the black sheep, but everyone protected him because he was, the baby black sheep, whatever, the screw up. So actually what happened was in 9th grade, I got caught selling marijuana and I had to go before a judge for juvenile court. And I went before the same judge that gave my dad custody, and he recognized my dad as soon as he walked in the courtroom. He said, "I recognize you." And he opened up the file and saw years worth of reports and saw that it had never brought in front of him. And he said, "Why was this never brought in front of me?" And that ensued to that judge apologizing me for the state failing me and for him personally failing me.
So and how old are you right here? You said
9th grade.
9th grade.
Yeah, so then I stayed in foster care after that.
Yeah, my dad one time the fucking cops busted down because he was fucking selling narcotics. And honestly, he's kind of smart for this, so I give him credit for the creativity.
That's where you get it from.
There's like he's like, what's one spot the cops aren't gonna look for my drugs?
The baby's diaper.
The baby's diaper.
Yep,
Oh
same.
my
That's
God.
that. Yeah, been
He
there.
he would just stick it in there.
Yep.
He's like, hey,
They
there's
check
nothing.
those now.
There's nothing in here, and he had all his guns and drugs, rest of his guns and drugs, in the fucking air vents and shit.
My mom wasn't smart. When the
I thought he
cops
was
came
gonna
to
say
her
you
door,
hid the
she said
guns
she
in
was
his
the
diaper.
maid.
So how
gonna fucking
how long were you with your mom?
My mom, I was with her for a few years as a baby, in and out of like motels, and she went to rehab and got to take me. And then as a teenager, I tried reunifying with my mom, so a trial home placement, but it only lasted a couple
And
months.
so I saw your Instagram story. It was probably a couple of weeks ago. Was she trying to make a good, steady?
She was trying really hard, but
Was
my
she?
mom, I mean, if you heard her life story is actually used as a case scenario used to train people because of
Really?
the amount of trauma she has. Like, it's absolutely insane. So my mom was trying to beat a life of trauma and substance abuse and, undiagnosed and untreated mental health. And so she was given a year to do that. My mom had to get an apartment. She was a semi-truck driver around the country.
Oh, that's right. I remember you
so
saying
she had to
that.
get an apartment, and she was broke, had to get a new job, all these different things, and change her lifestyle in such a short amount of time, being so rushed. And we moved into a place that wasn't really good. There was a heroin and meth dealer and a pimp, and everyone in the apartment used meth. So my mom got into meth at that point.
Gotcha.
Do you ever reconnect with her? Or?
I see my mom. Sometimes I've had to kind of cut that barrier after having to Narcan her a few times when I was in college.
Jesus.
Like, it was
Having a
just
what?
Narcan. So that's what's used to
The spray
prevent overdose.
that you put on someone that's overdosing.
Yeah.
What does it
You
do?
know,
Bring it
locks-
back.
Like
It brings
fucking-
you back, like
Yeah,
so you
'cause they
don't,
OD.
so you don't
Narcan,
die.
It's to stop you from dying.
It's
Yeah,
a
they're
drug.
basically
It's a drug
ODing.
that it's
So
a drug
you know
to
what
stop
an EpiPen
people.
is?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like an EpiPen for drugs. to reverse that reaction from like being death.
It's mostly used for heroin.
It's like a spray or something.
Well, I have shots because I'm trained to use the needles. But there's a spray
there is a spray that you can put up their nose. Yeah.
Yeah. But my mom.
Is there like a certain amount of drugs? Is it like no matter if you're overdosing, no matter what amount, this is gonna save you? Or is
it's not?
No, it's not.
A save all.
No, it's not a save all.
It's like
It's
give her another shot.
It's pretty reliable, but not always. But my mom's also gotten involved in sex work, and so I was watching like men come in and out, and it was just like she invited me to do it and would pass me meth pipes, and just like the boundaries got really blurred with my mom because like we never had that mom-daughter relationship.
Of course.
So I had to pull myself back because as a broke college student, I was like, well, I could use the $100.
So this is when you were at ClearLink.
Yeah, I was at ClearLink and doing Salt Lake Community College, my associates. So I considered it a few too many times. I grabbed the meth pipe and handed it back, and I was like, I can't be around this anymore.
I remember, I'm gonna bring up something.
Yeah, do it.
I remember one time we were at ClearLink, and you and I had a conversation.
Timestamp. God. Just kidding.
Keep going.
You can cut and edit.
Yeah, just kidding.
And I remember I was like, Natalie, you seem like someone who's always been felt pushed away. Remember that? And you started just crying.
Ballin'.
And that's crazy that you were going through all that as you had a full-time job.
And full-time student.
Like, and everybody was like, oh, Natalie, she's taking today off again. And it's like, no, like you were fighting for your fucking life. You're fighting for your fucking life.
I was cleaning my mom's shit off of the floor because she was...
Christ.
Do you think in some way, and I know it sounds sick, but do you think in some way, like because I mean, it's a pretty bad, tough upbringing.
Yeah.
Do you would you change anything?
I think about that often because there's always that what would have happened if I got adopted by that family that lives in Cottonwood Heights and what that perfect life would have been. And I always say I wish I would have been adopted, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't have made me the person I am. And like the impact that I will have helping other people with my experience is far more valuable than those materialistic things of having a nice house and, having like all that. But like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't wish I had a family and like have someone to spend Christmas with every year that's not dependent on me being in a relationship or things like that. Like the normal things, someone to call during a breakup.
That's why
that's great.
That's why I feel guilty.
That's why I feel. I kind of feel the same way. I mean, like you look at someone like Natalie, like very happy person, very upgoing. Like I said, like you could either be two ways. You could have been fucking on the streets, or you could like say like I'm not gonna let my past define my future. So it's like with me. I mean, people consider me as like, or I consider myself as like a happy person, positive person. So it's like, I just feel like I've just seen so much negativity and so much darkness in my life and so much, I've cried so much in my fucking life. So I was just like, I'm done crying. Like I'm done like feeling sorry for myself. Like I'm going to just be happy and I'm just going to like take what was given to me. I don't think I would change what happened to me in the past either. Cause like I said, it made you who I am today. Like I learned a lot. I don't know. I love who I am, and I don't know if I would change something. If I'd be some fucking prissy ass fucking guy.
I'd be another privileged white bitch from
You'd
Utah.
be like me.
Yeah,
you'd be me.
Well,
but it's crazy too.
You had a humbling, right? That came from the family you provided. I don't know for sure if that would have come to me.
But I had to have that humbling as an adult.
That's true.
So here's the thing about my parents.
Yeah,
they had adopted like two kids, and then 10 years later, 2 more kids. Mm-hmm. So my little sister Alyssa and I, we had. When I tell you every house that my parents have ever lived in had a pool. Yeah. Like we had the red carpet rolled out for us. Right. But my older brother and sister, they were the ones that saw the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, and they were the ones that are like, you and Alyssa don't even know how good you have it.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad for I really I listened to your story and I feel bad for that. Cause if I was a parent, I would have adopted your ass. Like I really would have, Natalie.
That.
Like
no kids deserve
No,
that.
Of course they don't.
No, it is.
And my story isn't the worst, right? Like I'm humbled every day
not.
speaking with youth of just like the things that they go through. I'm like, I'm white. The privilege that I experienced being a white girl in the foster system compared to being black or indigenous. Wow. The disparities are.
If I would have stayed in North Carolina, I don't even know. I would have never met any of you guys.
A lot of kids that I know in North Carolina went and from anywhere to 20 to 30 foster homes. I had 7.
Yeah, I would have been. I would have been living. I don't know. I would probably live a bum. I'd probably been a gangbanger. Like living in trailer parks.
Would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah, I'm saying it was rough when I lived in the fucking woods, man. It was.
It's just crazy because the thing that bugs me the most out of it all is just like, as human beings, like we're quickly to like either judge or just assume things of people. Because the thing is crazy. Cause I never really talked to you much, but we had connections. Like we would talk to each other. Yeah, hey, what's up and everything. But it's like I remember walking into work every day and like you, I don't think I've ever seen a day when I would go to work that you would be like upset, not happy. You know what I'm saying?
She was always just eating candy. Always those Reese's
chocolate cake and a Coke for breakfast, baby.
And then I remember I'd see you doing your shit for like your beads and shit.
Oh so the rave shit. I remember that shit too.
So then it's like it's crazy to me because it's like, bro, like you were so happy and like you reflected, like you gave energy. You could see that you would give energy to other people, and then like there was like crazy shit going on in the background. Always. But even though all the crazy shit, you still like kept it like that. And that's like even Foss too. Like I've like there's people that have said certain things about, and it's like you don't know the person, bro. Like there's like things that people
have gone through.
Yeah.
And that's why I overshare, right? So that's why I told y'all, like I wasn't, just so y'all know, I was an hour and a half late to this podcast. So that's why I told y'all, hey, by the way, my foster sister called me at 2 a.m. from an airport and asked me if she could stay at my house because her flight got canceled. As a foster youth, that's my sister, that's my family, that's who I identify with. So I'm gonna be late to your podcast so I can take her to an airport. But I overshared that, right? Because if y'all didn't hear that, you'd be like, this bitch just showing up and out. But like the reality is, I was going through something and I needed to support.
That is not what I said at all.
I was just kidding.
But no, like, and that's the reality.
I was just kidding. Chill. This
there's
guy
something going
beat
on.
my ass earlier.
I did.
Not literally.
He enjoyed it too. Both of them.
No, not like that. He fucking punched the shit out of my arm. That's crazy though.
Here's another question.
Yeah.
If someone can't foster, what are the best charities to support?
Yeah.
So where can we give our money?
Here in Utah, basically there's a main charity. It's called Utah Foster Care. They are a nonprofit. They do a lot of things with us. We gave our grads gift cards for graduating. They provide a lot of supplies. If you have clothes, I see y'all wearing some quite name brand clothing. I'm sure if you get rid of your clothing, you donate them
local.
Well, you know what I mean. It costs. It's not Walmart, is it?
So by
no.
All right. So if you are getting rid of your clothes, don't take them to the DI or anything like that. Don't take them to the road home.
Really?
We have a place called the Kids Cubby, KIDZKUBBY. Look it up on Facebook. It's a nonprofit organization started by my old foster mom, and it's what clothed me the entire time I was in foster care. Because when we come into foster care, usually all we have is the clothes on our back.
Sure.
And foster parents don't always have the money or resources to just get an entire wardrobe for a kid in 24 hours. So this is run out of a storage unit, and these clothes, as long as they're lightly worn, no big tears or stains.
Right.
What's it called again?
Go on
The
Facebook.
Kids Cubby.
KIDZKUBBY. And there's no the.
Because Christina just donated a bunch of clothes to the road home, but we're gonna do that now.
The road home is amazing too. But like for foster care specific, they provide 2 foster kids.
Oh, they got pretty good ratings. Do you want me to sign in?
Damn,
bro.
Keyboard?
God.
I'll enter my password.
Huh?
Click enter password.
But that is one place. And then there's a lot of national organizations. There's One Simple Wish, which is really cool. Kids that are in foster care or from foster care, we get to submit a wish, and you are able to grant a wish. So I have foster siblings that have needed a textbook or a shower curtain for their new apartment, a vacuum, and a stranger can provide these items to us that we don't have from other people. And those are really helpful.
So here,
real quick, just like I said, that's kids.
KIDZKUBBY.
Go donate your fuck Plato's Closet.
Fuck Plato's. Fuck the road home.
Uptown Cheapskate.
They're not gonna give you money.
They only give you $5 anyways for your name brand Nikes anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Throw that in.
The DI is just profiting.
DI is.
Oh well, we don't even talk about the DI.
Yeah, we don't know about that.
Yeah, we don't. Why are there so many Mormons? Honestly.
That's an awful lot of Mormons.
Oh, that's an awful lot of Mormons. Fuck. I messed up the fucking quote already. Resource Center for Foster Families of Salt Lake. They got great reviews. 5 stars. Raving reviews, honestly.
So Nat,
we'll post them in the
almost as good as ours.
Instagram
If you go
post.
to my page, I have it on my link tree too.
You've been on the floor of Congress.
I have multiple times.
The Congress.
Yes, I speak to many different parts.
What can we do as voters, the 3 of us? What can we do to enact change?
Well, I mean, I think that's a double-edged sword because there is no one party that actually fits for making change. But I think it's really just looking into those local representatives that are really
So
what
who
make the
locally?
change.
Because we're in an election
Kitchen.
season.
Derek Kitchen.
Okay.
Derek Kitchen.
Because we're in election season right now.
Yeah.
Derek Kitchen.
Yeah. Derek
Shout
Kitchen,
out.
Really.
I actually know him.
Yeah. Same.
Just kidding.
Very sweet. Very caring.
Derek Kitchen.
Yeah. And
Who's in your kitchen?
Dude.
And
No, I didn't
don't
hear
be
you say.
afraid to reach out to your representatives. Say, hey, this is a crisis. What are you doing about it? Like, hold your representatives accountable, saying, what are you doing for the foster kids in our state? Like,
Right.
do you care about them? Because they actually have to
3
respond.
and 1. That is the crazy statistic.
What can we do to change that?
Vote for Derek Kitchen.
That, I mean, become foster parents, become a mentor to kids in foster care. So even if you can't foster.
Yeah, is there like some ground
Like
roots?
a mentor? What is that?
Like a YMCA thing?
Yeah, so
Sure.
there's like the Journey Up mentor project, and there's just like, I mean, even Big Brother Big Sister programs. Sometimes you can say, hey, if you guys have any foster youth.
Those are very
Like,
religious.
No, like you
Not
do like a
all
lot
of
of.
them.
No,
The
the
Journey Up
YMCA
mentor
is.
project was created by the Christmas Box, so
Did you
they're
have a
foster
Big Brother?
specific.
I did an after school program.
Who's your big brother?
I don't fucking remember. It was just like an after school program
Bro,
thing.
Was
It was
he
just
a
like
prick
some
or
dude
what?
was no. I mean, they were cool. Like it's like an unlocked core memory. I didn't think about that until someone just said Big Brother until you said that. And so
Sure.
I did have one after like middle school. Like we would
Was
just
it J. Cole?
we would just hang out. Yeah, no, it was fucking Drake. No, we
It
would
was,
just
it was Jake the Mormon.
no, we would just hang out. And I can't honestly remember. I think I had one or two. But it was just an after school program. I went to like the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
Shout out Boys and Girls
Well,
Club.
we don't know how important those things are.
They
When you
really
think
are.
About it, like a foster kid, like I'd go home and be isolated all day, right?
Yeah.
Like I'd change schools, so it was hard to make friends, and so having that one person that would just like sit and hang out with me, like, and
It's
somebody
crazy
that I
'cause some
didn't feel like
schools
they were
won't
paid
have
to do
it.
it.
No, they don't.
Because I
Some
remember in
schools-
Rose Park, I had the after school program and I would go. But when I went to West Valley, my school in West Valley didn't have that.
I remember.
There's too many.
I've-
there's not enough Big Brothers
I've
for all
told
the,
y'all. I've told y'all
for all
about
the
this.
fucking kids.
So every
We don't have any that speak
every
Spanish,
Christmas at
but-
my high school in Lehigh,
I speak English.
we used to go with the Christmas box
I love that.
and make like we used to get
Christmas
toys for kids.
Yeah.
No, like
Wait, what
no,
happened?
this shit fucking touched me, cause you'd fucking get paired with a kid, and you'd go to like Walmart,
Oh yeah.
and we were like, "What toys do you want?" And they said, "I don't want toys. I want clothes for my mom, or like I want clothes for like my parents."
Mom needs dishes.
I
Yeah.
remember doing that once.
Well,
I was on the local news one time in North Carolina. It was like the highlight of my life, honestly. I was like, damn, I was on TV.
you're out there with Sir Purr.
I'm rude.
I know. I was like, dang, no. They just took me shopping, and I just got to like buy what I want.
Wednesday's child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I
and,
don't-
and it's fucking sickening. Which, like, I understand
You ever
there's
found
a
the
reason
clip?
for it, but it's so.
no. I wish I should fucking look it up.
Dehumanizing. We air them here in Utah every Wednesday, and we take a kid shopping and ask them what they want.
You don't
but
like that paid for play.
Honestly,
it's
I
just
didn't give a fuck though. They were just
tokenizing.
buying
It
it.
is tokenizing.
Like, it just
Took my
really
ass to
hurts.
Radio Shack. I was
But
like,
on the
Radio
topic-
Shack? What were you getting there? A
Bro.
security system?
no, okay, Radio Shack was popping back in the day, bro.
Bro,
I was like,
I know about Radio Shack.
But what the fuck was Best Buy back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Like Radio Shack was Best Buy.
Yo, now that I'm thinking about it, my school did that for me once. In Rose, it was called Newman Elementary, but they just assumed that we were going through it. But I mean,
Your
my
dad
was
was like very well off. Yeah.
My dad had a dealership. I just didn't celebrate. You know how I don't celebrate like
Christmas. 'Cause
Christmas.
you're Jehovah's
So I
Witness.
think they were asking me questions like if I was gonna get Christmas gifts, and I was like no. But it never dawned into me till later on, bro. Like these guys
Javi
really
just
thought
took
we were
from this
going
federal
through it.
program.
Are you guys gonna eat for
That's what we're going
Thanksgiving? No.
But on the topic of Christmas, really quick, like on the reality is I meet with teens, and through a nonprofit I used to work for, we do Christmas lists, and we try to get them a couple things for Christmas that they want. And I can't name off to you how many times on that list
What nonprofit?
what they Reach 360.
There we go.
They fund educational grants and activity grants for kids to participate in things. But a lot of the things that I saw on that list were, I want a family.
Oh my god!
It wasn't socks. It wasn't an Xbox. It wasn't Jordans. It was, I want someone to love me. I want a family.
Yeah, bro. You have that family privilege.
No, I know.
Family privilege, like we don't know it exists.
It's kind of crazy
But it
that
does
you brought that
exist.
up because, like, it is true. I have family privilege.
I know. I was grateful. My mom obviously was using the hardcore drugs, so I got taken away. Like she just like some parents just like rather do drugs than take care of their children, and so it's
not
like
even that, bro. It's just they're so deep into that addiction.
no, they trust me. They'd rather do fucking drugs than fucking
But yeah, they
Sometimes
rather.
But it's hard for that. Like,
But
it's
the
not a
thing is,
choice.
Oftentimes, those people didn't want kids in the first
Right.
place.
Yeah.
But they don't have
My
the
mom didn't want a
resources
kid in the
for
first
safe
place.
sex, education, birth control, access to abortion. Like,
Abortion, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all of those things. And that is going to impact our foster care community tenfold once Roe versus Wade comes out. Our lives. will be
Yeah.
ruined.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm glad my mom was just like, I'm done with it. I want my son back. Like I'm done dropping it all and just moved to Utah. But like my mom's Melvin, my mom's boyfriend, Melvin's his
the beat.
sister. She was a great mom. She had 3 kids when I was younger. She was a good mom. And then as I got older, we moved away. And I heard that like she, so they had her oldest. His name was Terrence. And he would come live with us a couple of times. Terrence was like, I was pretty close to him, and he had like, he wasn't like
intellectually.
he wasn't like autistic or
He was
something.
intellectually disabled.
But he had something. It was something off him. But he was like, I swear he was like 99% normal. But there was like something you would see that was just like a little bit like off.
Spectrum, yeah.
What is that?
I was
Just
autistic.
on the spectrum.
It's a spectrum. You can, be high functioning.
Okay, yeah,
That
but
bitch
but
genre.
honestly, you'd look at him and talk to him, have a conversation. You're like, oh, this guy's fucking normal percent. But anyways, he would get a check from the state, and so
Disability check.
yeah, and so his mom just got to a point where she was doing drugs heavy, and she just like, I'm done with the kids. I'm done with the kids. I don't give a fuck about them. I'd rather do fucking crack. Like, and then they would bounce around, and Terrence would go to his grandma's house, and grandma wouldn't give a fuck. Like, she was getting that check. Like, she would only want to house people. It was sad because like people would only want to house Terrence because they were getting his disability check before he turned 18.
Right.
That's common.
Yeah, and so they would take his check.
That's like precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so when he turned 18, he was like, I'm doing my own thing, blah, blah, blah. He moved out to us. He moved out to here for a little bit and like stay with us. And yeah, he got a job and he was cool, but it was just sad because I'm like, damn, that fucking sucks, bro. I'm like, literally, people are just like,
Yeah, bro.
you're just living with them because like you get a
Yes.
check at the end of the
You're
night.
That's like
You're just a check to them.
Have y'all seen The Blind Side?
Yeah.
So you know how that's like a really feel good movie?
Yeah.
They got that motherfucker's disability check. Like the real story of that was
He doesn't like the story. He said it doesn't accurately depict.
bro, like no, like
journey at
that,
all.
like Sandra Bullock's character. They were taking him in
Yeah.
because they were getting his disability, his welfare check, like
I heard
all
the
that.
dad was a dick.
Yeah, he was.
I heard he was
Little
racist.
shitbag, yeah.
I mean, they got him to the NFL, so
I mean,
He got
okay,
himself. Well, he got
okay,
himself
cool.
there.
So now the
got
people that
himself to the
adopted him
NFL.
get his NFL money too.
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying. They obviously had some part of like,
I mean, obviously
Getting
there was
him-
good
Yeah,
intentions.
absolutely. Hopefully.
Now we're really excited that you were here. Thanks
Thank
for wearing
you
the
so much
Aaliyah
for
shirt.
having me. Oh yeah, thanks.
R. Kelly
Yeah.
abuser.
Where are you?
Where is he? He's in jail.
Is he though?
Yeah, bro.
he's getting the golden showers now.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah, he's probably liking it.
Nope, I doubt
Pissing
he
on
is.
you, oh, yes I do.
Bro, he is a child molester in jail. I'm surprised he's not dead yet.
Was he molesting children?
Yeah, Aaliyah was a child when he was dating her.
Yeah.
Bro, she was 14
little.
when he married her.
Yeah.
I thought she was 16.
Oh,
Grooming.
fine, okay.
Still grooming.
Still grooming.
Which
he was
again is another.
Just like Drake and Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Chill out.
A lot of dudes know that motherfucker.
Oh, we
was
haven't
really-
even talked about the new album. How'd you guys think about it?
I liked it.
It was great.
I haven't listened to
People
it.
think it's shit, but
I really
I
wish
would
he had
think it's-
better
No,
album
people
work.
think.
Oh.
Like covers. I think his album covers are trash.
his album
Yeah,
cover was
true.
so
That
ass.
album
for,
Trevor
for
was trash.
how like quality his music is, I feel like none of his album covers really reflect that. Like it looks like some like low grade, like just I
Yeah.
just hit up my homie and I
Yeah.
said like, hey, will you do this?
No, literally, he
You know
like
what
hit
I
up
mean?
like a
Like,
13-year-old and was like, "Yo,
It was probably Millie Bobby Brown that he hit up.
True.
Well, it's like it's more like the new one is more like a Pink Floyd album cover.
Yeah, it
you know
is.
what I mean? Like
Low-key,
super acidy.
The Wall.
it's more like a
Psychedelic.
house type like up tempo beats." I like it. I enjoy. I wish he would have rapped more on the beats.
Wasn't super hard.
Yeah, I wish he would have rapped
wasn't
more
super
on
hard.
it.
Javi loves
no,
Simp
but I
Drake.
like his.
You love
Yeah,
Simp Drake.
I like R&B Drake. So it's like I like
Simp Drake.
But when Drake first came in the scene, he was R&B Drake, and people started
Yeah.
giving him flack for it. So this is how he came
I
in the
never
scene.
did though.
No, I fucks with
Uh-huh.
R&B Drake.
Did you like?
So
Did you
far
listen to
so
it?
gone was
The new
cool.
album?
Yeah,
You like it?
yeah. My boyfriend's a stan, so
Same.
Oh, that's right. Your
Yeah.
boyfriend.
he's a stan. Drake's.
But the thing is,
Drake's
like,
the goat.
even some of these people that like listen to Drake, there's people that are stans, and there's people that like him just because of the hype.
Like me.
They
Like
piss-
Kanye fans.
They
Like
piss
me,
off.
yeah,
They,
me.
Oh, they
No,
actually
I'm a-
Kanye fans that are like that.
Like Trevor.
Yeah.
But it pisses me off because I was like seeing something like people were saying like, oh, Drake's getting into dance hall and all this shit, and
Nothing
it's
wrong
like,
with
bro,
that.
like this.
He's been doing that.
This motherfucker's been doing that.
Yeah,
shit
he's
for a
been
little
a
while, bro.
he's been a
Every album has a dance
Code switching.
Not every
That's
album.
Drake. Code
Almost
switching.
every.
No, probably after Nothing Was the Same. After like
That's my favorite
Yeah,
album.
yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
after 2012 Drake, 2013 Drake. I think he got more into like
Views was probably the big push on it.
Sure.
I would say. Because he had like Passion Fruit, Bland.
yeah.
That Passion Fruit was on More Life. More Life.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What was the one with him and
Views had part
Rihanna?
of it.
The famous one with him and Rihanna. What's that song called?
Work.
No, the first one they did together. The big one.
Find Your Love.
No.
I never.
Oh, side note, some other things you can do to get involved and donate.
Oh, yeah.
You can donate things like tampons and hygiene products to group homes or DCFS offices. We have towel closets for young people transitioning to access those for free. And then just other things you can provide, just anything that you can think of that a young person would enjoy. So in like group homes, we don't get access to like MP3 players or radios.
Candy?
So if you were to drop off like a radio, we're allowed to get like radio time.
What?
Yeah. Like
A
FM radio, we can listen to FM radio.
Radio loves Burger King Coke.
Or sometimes, I mean, MP3 players are tricky because of the music on them, but like just different things like that you think teens would enjoy if you have the ability to maybe not take care of kids, but the financial ability to donate items that kids would enjoy. Donating to facilities like that are really helpful. So we have something to do.
Natalie,
you heard it there first. And then
did someone donate an MP3 player for you?
No. But we had a radio in my group home, and it's the only thing.
Oh,
that made me
radio
get
in your
through.
group home? What is
Yeah,
it, fucking
and it was shared between
1930s?
9 bedrooms,
What?
and so we all got like 30 minutes to an hour with it, and you had to like be on like all your level requirements and like follow all the rules and not be in trouble in
Oh
order
my
during that time.
God.
I'm gonna donate an iPod with nothing but our episodes in it.
Dude, shut up.
that's the song.
I'm just
It was
kidding.
Take Care with Rihanna.
Take care.
I've asked about you and they that was on Take Care of the album. So that was
Just
2012. So that
whole
was
album.
yeah,
that's
fantastic.
pretty.
That was so he
That's
was
probably the best album he has.
facts.
think?
No, not probably.
Probably
It is.
it's up there.
It is.
It is.
Nothing was the same as my
Nothing
favorite
Was the
album.
Same was pretty clean too, but to me this is.
I'm
the
putting
best
Views
one.
above Nothing Was the Same, and then
What,
Nothing
the
Was the Same.
Views?
Views was
That's Trump's album.
No, Views was clean. Views has a lot of bangers in
a
it.
lot of bangers. But
Anyways,
well,
Natalie, thank you.
Natalie, thank you so much for coming on the show and honestly sharing your whys, sharing your history, and sharing your backstory and kind of what you do. And Trevor, thank you for sharing your story and
Thank you for sharing your story, Foss, man.
Seriously.
Like,
no,
that
appreciate
shit
it.
made me tear up.
Yeah, because that stuff.
Bro,
I
that
don't
shit,
even know.
like, I know
We're
you've
friends for a
repressed it.
minute.
I know you've repressed it.
Hard to
And
share it when you're not used to like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
trauma.
no, I appreciate it. Like Natalie being so open, telling us about what you've kind of gone through, and it's always it's not easy, but it's not the hardest thing to do depending where you're at. Like I said, you kind of it's what made us who
You're
we
not
are
alone.
here today. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah. So
And if
Yeah,
you need more
exactly.
resources, I'm always sharing people with lived experience and good people to follow for advice. I'm sharing organizations to help support. So
Natalie,
they're
throw out your socials, throw out. how
just
can
my
the
name, Natalie Nicole Clark on Instagram. I have link trees that have links to my story, my bio, other podcasts I'm on, and resources of how to help foster kids.
even if you're one of those people who are just like, I need to go do a good deed to fucking
Donate
feel good
some
about my
fucking money.
karma.
Seriously.
You don't need to go to
Some
fucking
clothing.
yeah. Don't give your dollars to the homeless people downtown. Who
Don't
knows?
give your
Ways
dollars to the
how are all
DI.
saved in my highlights. Just go through my highlight reels.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
all
You don't know where they're
there.
giving those
linked.
money to, so go give your money to where you
If
know.
you shop on Amazon, they donate to Utah Foster
Yep.
Care. So that's
Amazon does?
also-
I
Yep.
put that on my.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
if
so
you
if-
go to my page, it tells you exactly how.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
you can
You can
select
pick a charity
it,
to donate
and then
to.
when you buy the shit, it sends
percentage.
like a percentage.
5%.
That's what
yeah, clear. Not Clearlink, but CHG. My job does a thing called the Giving Tree, the Giving Angel, the Angel
Oh,
Giving
yeah.
thing, and it's like you go in and
sounds whitewashed.
no, you go in and it's really good cause. Like it'll be like, it's usually for Christmas, and it's like a family. It was like a single mom, has 3 jobs, has 5 kids, and the kids will give a list of what they want, and so you can just buy.
That's what we did.
Them
That was
presents
the
and stuff.
thing in Lehigh was the
Yeah,
giving
lots
tree.
of companies participate
So
in that.
yeah, so it was dope. I always feel good trying to do some stuff like that. I always try to give as much as I can. So
Well, Natalie, thanks for changing the
Thank
fucking
you.
world.
One step at a time.
yeah, no, for real, honestly, and Javi, thank you for being down to do this episode. I know you don't know a lot about
I know
this
you have
stuff. and
family privilege.
Thank you for just being open minded and learning and just
I
wanting
feel like
to.
I was just one of the fans today. No, but I like this. I mean,
No, this was a good episode.
this is why we do this. Like, we can learn.
If we can change one
If
person's
one
mind,
person on this podcast
I
decides to foster,
I
get
actually
involved
used to
in
hate
any way,
foster kids till
that's all
now.
that matters.
what the fuck, dude?
No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
That's a joke, people.
You and I.
Donate those Jordans, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't donate those Jordans.
Donate Javi's
fuck
shoes.
fuck the resellers.
Not my shoes.
But again, Natalie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nats.
Any last words you want to say to the listeners before we?
Just don't be afraid to get involved. Just start. Like that's all you got to do. Start, and you'll just get pulled.
It's not as hard as what you're hearing about, honestly.
So easy.
Yeah,
like if you hear like the realities of what I've experienced in others, like the bar's really fucking low, y'all. You can do it.
True.
So, all right. Well, until next time, everyone. I will not be here next episode. I'm gonna be in country camp.
Oh.
So,
Picking it up.
just to
White
give you guys
power.
a heads up, and yeah, yeehaw, motherfuckers. We'll see you guys next time.
R.I.P. Al.
RIP out. Happy Father's Day. Peace.